Hey everybody, this is the superstar Bill Martell, and right now you're listening to the FTW podcast.
We are live! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FTW podcast world in all its laughable glory. I am Harrison, and with me as always is Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Holy shit.
Rob. Say hello, Rob.
Hey.
And Kevin is not with us this week. He is still sleeping off the last week, so we got Garvin Man on the board, so we're going to have to go on without him. Today's episode is number 95 and was recorded live in front of the TWR studio audience on January 3rd, 2012. And first thing I want to thank everybody at the Rant for basically taking the week off and letting us have their spot here on TWR Network on Tuesday. Looking forward to knocking it out of the park. Should be a lot of fun. What we're gonna basically do is we're gonna go through our normal show. We're gonna recap and talk about the show's Impact Superstars, SmackDown, and then Raw. Then we're gonna go right into news. Then we're gonna open the phone lines up as we do the discussion going to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to give us a call, let us know. Our phone number is 313-444-FTW4. That's 313-444-3894. So this is gonna be fantastic. First thing I want to do is, right off the top, I want to talk about Yaris Martinez. Wrote on a friend of ours on Facebook. He said, "Hey guys, love the show, but I have two questions. An interview that Bobby Lashley did, he said he had unfinished business with WWE. And with Brock Lesnar's MMA thing not going well, could we see these two guys making a turn? And who is there really for Zack Ryder to defend against?"
You know, Bobby Lashley, unfinished business in WWE. Because
Bobby Lashley thinks he has unfinished business in WWE. I mean,
besides leaving his retainer behind, what else was there? Brock Lesnar's thing, though, I could see him coming back, because as long as they're not going to be too hard on his abs, that's the problem. I mean, he's had that intestinal issue. I really think that could cause a problem if he's going... He may come back as like a spokesperson or something, but I don't think he'd come back full-time as a wrestler. And Zack Ryder, I think they're doing it right now. Jack
Swagger. Yeah. Good pick. Rob?
I think Swagger is an excellent pick for Ryder. It'll help both wrestlers out in the long run. As for Bobby Lashley, I'd like to know what unfinished business he thinks he has. Normally, I would say no to Brock Lesnar coming back because Dana White owns his ass, but since he's pretty much done with UFC right now, I could see him coming back, but I don't know if he'll be coming back as a full-time wrestler. He's got some injury issues. So I agree with Joe. I think he'll be more of like a spokesperson or something.
All right. Well, let's start off right off the bat with Impact. Rob, what was your favorite thing about Impact on Thursday?
It wasn't my favorite thing, but
okay. What stands out to you?
The main event. Gail Kim beating Mickie James to retain the Knockouts title after interference by Madison Rayne. It was almost as if I got sucked back in time and watched them at the pay-per-view, because it was the exact same ending, the exact same kind of match. But on Facebook, Steven Espinoza asked us regarding Impact. Mike Tenay asked who was more deserving than a Knockouts title shot than Mickie James. How about Velvet Sky? Or maybe Winter? Did they ever get rematches? The answer to that question is no. Velvet Sky's quote-unquote rematch was that gauntlet match that Mickie James won. And Winter, I don't believe she got one either. TNA has pretty much that they want it to be Mickie James versus Gail Kim.
Yeah.
And they're going to giving Mickie James shots at it. They're going to fuck over Velvet Sky and Winter and all the other knockouts in so doing.
Okay. Well, then what else you got? I mean, Samoa Joe and Magnus versus DB.
Yeah.
Right?
That was a good match, and I'm glad that Samoa Joe and Magnus continue to win, and it sounds like Joe wants to say something about that, so chime in here.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, that was an awesome match. I liked seeing, and I've been saying it for a while, I want to see the women fight the dudes. Doing it in this fashion, EY and ODB, that's an awesome combo. And it proves that ODB can wrestle the dudes and do well.
I love that ODB gets in against Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe just looks at her like, "I will still kill you."
Yeah, I love how he just kept looking like this shit isn't gonna. This is really happening. I can't believe this. Like
everybody else.
Like where have I gone in my career that I'm fighting ODB?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And of course, the third thing that stood out to me was the contract on a pole match between Zema Ion and Tony Nese. They brought in Austin Aries for assistant commentary on this, and Austin Aries was, as always, fucking awesome on the microphone. And Tony Nese and Zema Ion had a great match too. And predictably, because Zema Ion's a bit bigger name out of the recent additions than Tony Nese, predictably Zema Ion moving on to the pay-per-view. But it looks like it'll be a strong event. I mean, we've got a 4-way match now. Zema Ion, Kid Cash, Sorensen, all taking on us for the X Division title. I'm expecting a hell of a match.
See, now you say that, and I gotta be honest, given the lineup that they have right there, before we move on, do you really see Kid Cash as kind of like the weakest guy there?
I think, I think Cash does have to be considered the weak link, but for like one of the older guys, he's still been performing at a very high level.
Yeah, he's not RVD in it yet.
Right. I don't think I don't see him dragging the match down a little bit. I think he'll be able to keep pace enough to do it, and with all of the other talent in there, it's going to be a spot fest. If he does get gassed, they're probably fine to have him like roll out of the ring and catch his breath while the other three put on a clinic. So it should work well. I'm still expecting a hell of a match.
Okay, cool.
Superstars, another short card. There was only 4 matches. Which is something that Impact can't always do. But one thing, out of the 4 matches, we saw basically Yoshitatsu get an opportunity, Darren Young get an opportunity, and they really haven't been seen on camera in a while, at least on Superstars. We've seen them on NXT, and I know they've been on house shows and whatnot. But regardless, Yoshitatsu beat Tyson Kidd, which I know means good things for Kevin, because Kevin didn't want to see Tyson Kidd get the first shot at Zack Ryder, and this basically implies that.
Implies, hell, it confirms it.
Yeah, losing to Yoshitatsu's like losing to Santino.
Sure.
On Superstars, no less.
But then again, you look at a guy like Jack Swagger, who always loses, and he ended up, getting some kind of push into a feud with them. So who knows? But also that night, we saw Darren Young defeat Trent Beretta. First time I've seen Young on anything outside of NXT, which is good. But no crowd reaction for most of it. Both guys definitely need some more time. But Young has this finisher, and it is brutal. It's a top rope gut buster, basically, where he has him on his shoulders like a fireman's carry. And as he jumps down, he lands on his back. He forces them over his shoulder and basically crushes them onto his knees like the front-facing backcracker thing that Jericho used to do, but on their stomach. And there's no way to protect them.
It's nuts.
I'm going to have to go back and watch this because I didn't get to watch Superstars this week, and that sounds epically awesome. I love any move that actually looks like it could kill a man.
Yeah, it was a great move, but for sure it looked brutal. The other match was Alex Riley versus JTG. So it was good to once again see Alex Riley get some form of push, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I know the IWC has been wanting Alex Riley to have more TV time, but when he's facing guys like Alex Riley and Michael McGillicuddy, it's not really doing much for him.
JTG.
And then Air Boom, they defended against Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins. It was the exact same match that we saw last week, and it ended the exact same way. I'm not sure what that means for Tyler Rex or Kurt Hawkins, but I would assume that they're not really pushing them too far.
I gotta be honest, the chat room is disagreeing with you on Alex Riley. So far, everybody's saying that Alex Riley is crap. They don't want to see him. So.
No, I'm okay. Let me clarify then. I'm not saying I want to see Alex Riley. I'm saying the IWC wants to see Alex Riley. Like, if you look at YouTube or if you look at anyone on Twitter who is talking about who they want to see being pushed back up into, a Raw, Alex Riley's name gets brought up every single time, and I don't get it. He's not great. He's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, everyone is still high on him over The Miz, but that was months ago.
Yeah, he's a secondary character. He's a great secondary character. With a guy like Miz that can carry him, sure.
Yeah, but
again,
by himself?
No reaction. Michael McGillicuddy, no reaction. Jack Swagger, no reaction. So, I don't know. But he's still getting matches, so he's not getting buried, per se. He's still getting some time to show what he can do. So, but
Princess Sarah in the chat room was basically just listing off people that he's better than, which include Titus O'Neil, Heath Slater, Otunga, Trent Beretta. She's just going down a list of people that we don't even see anymore that are better. That A-Rise better than.
We do see Otunga, but he's not really in a wrestling role. He is sometimes, but not really.
He's more enjoys his last.
Used as a jobber.
Yeah.
So at least how A-Rai is being used, he is getting matches. Like in the last 4 weeks, he's gone 50-50 on wins and losses.
Okay.
So, I mean, he is getting somewhat of a push. So
yeah,
that was Superstars. Great matches as always.
All right, cool, man. All right, well, let's jump right into SmackDown. Joe, what are the highlights? What are the things about SmackDown that really spoke to you?
Well, first off, I mean, Booker T started out in the ring talking about a bunch of crap, and then out comes Cody Rhodes. Of course, they're going to drag this crap out longer. Who comes out but fucking Dustin Rhodes, fucking Gold Dust himself, comes out without the makeup, looking so much like his fucking father.
Didn't he?
Like,
I honestly thought it was his dad.
I mean, I thought it was, he looked just like Dusty, but without like 300 pounds of flab. So Booker challenges Cody to a rematch, which is cool. But it's next week, so we'll see what happens. Booker leaves. Cody attacks Dustin. Cool. One of the other things I really liked about SmackDown was Drew McIntyre and Teddy Long. Teddy Long says, "Yeah, I got your contract, from Raw, so now you're a SmackDown guy." But I didn't actually look at how much you were getting paid, so you really got to prove your worth. So later on in the show, he has to fight Ezekiel Jackson with hair, and non-bald Ezekiel Jackson ends up beating him, and Drew, is going on, he's all frustrated. I liked it. To me, that was one of the high points of SmackDown because they're actually doing some character development stuff with Drew. It's similar to some stuff that they did with MVP of all people, where MVP went on his losing streak and they're going to lose his contract. He was going to lose his contract. I liked that storyline. They're actually doing a storyline with a guy I can't wait to see come back. Even if it's only for like the entrance music and the entrance video, you have to admit that Drew McIntyre's got one of the best now that Edge is not around. Hunico beat Justin Gabriel in a pretty solid match. I enjoyed watching that one. Sheamus defeated Heath Slater in a ginger-on-ginger match.
I was wondering when you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, ginger-on-ginger. There was no soul in the ring except for the ref.
Oh, God.
That's right, Gingers, that's right. The only other thing worth talking about is Wade Barrett defeating Randy Orton in a Falls Count Anywhere match. I don't think that actually counted as Wade Barrett winning because he never pinned Wade. Or he never pinned Randy. He threw him down the stairs and just ran off.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. He just ducked through an exit.
I really wish if they was, oh, listen to me, I sound smart. No, I think though.
It doesn't happen often for Joe, so he has to embrace.
If they would have had Randy Orton supposedly get thrown down the stairs, and even if he ran down, on the lower level, they could have had a guy push a cart full of shit down the stairs or something, so you hear the thump, 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 and then got out of the camera view. That would have worked too, like on the lower level further down, so you'd have the audio. They didn't do it.
Well, he could have just ran down stamping his feet. They were metal stairs.
No, they were cement. Oh, I thought they were cement, but
no, they look like metal.
Either way, I don't think Orton would have taken the risk. But yeah, I mean that's SmackDown in a nutshell. Big Show versus Daniel Bryan next week for the World Heavyweight title. But
Garvin says Orton got folied.
He did, and I forgot who it was who posted it in the TWR group on Facebook. But I was watching that video today, and then watching HBK Superkick Triple H. That was beautiful, and Cena just staring on like, holy shit. What match was it that started off? Was that a Survivor Series? Regardless, I don't know. It's not important. It has nothing to do with SmackDown today.
Okay, cool. All right, jumping over into Raw. Raw was awesome matches with mediocre kind of segments. Cena basically came out and decided he was going to have a quick segment about how he's going to make changes in 2012 by basically staying exactly the same. He thanked the fans, even the ones that were booing out, up, paid the tickets, and earned the right to do that, which, was fair. I mean, I got to be honest. It was fair. Kane interrupts and basically says that he'll embrace the hate as we all witness the true power of hate, because Kane is big on what hate is what we're getting here. Kane likes hate. Big things about the biggest thing. Walk away from Raw match wise. Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes had a match. Ziggler and CM Punk had a match. Both of these pay-per-view quality. These guys were putting on a clinic on why they are the future of the WWE main event title picture. Hands down, I wasn't big on Ziggler going into the world title match up until he had that match with CM Punk, and it was just like unbelievable. Kicking off the 10 p.m. time slot, and they owned it. It was awesome. Ryder, Show, and Cena took on Henry and Swagger. Otunga came out to tell everybody that Kane won't be making it for the match, basically telegraphing how it was going to end. I mean, at that point we knew. Match was kind of meh. It was just an excuse to get Cena alone as possible in the ring. Basically, it ends with Cena doing the Cena special number 5 with wonton soup and egg roll before Kane's music hits. He then pops out of the ring. They get into it.
With wonton soup and egg roll.
Now, if it was hot and sour, I'd be all about it. But
no. That is when he does come on, what is he? I mean, it's the same thing every time. I mean, you can almost be. It's like what video game is it where you can hit like 6 buttons and you get like a 500 hit combo?
Oh, Killer Instinct.
Yeah, it's Killer Instinct, but on
Any
USA.
One of Mortal Kombat characters or games.
Yeah, boom. Anyway, Kane pops out the ring. They get into it. Kane tries to kidnap Rice, unknown to man, and then fire comes out of the hole. I gotta be honest, the only highlights of Raw to me were Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes and Ziggler and CM Punk. Everything else was just kind of blah, Dude, Cody Rhodes, these two. This was I gotta be. If I gotta give it to one match, I gotta give it to them, because that match was spectacular. They got the crowd was kind of dead in the beginning, and then they just grew onto them. And Daniel Bryan running around with that title afterwards, he was just like, it's like he won it again. I mean, you couldn't believe it. It was a fantastic match, given that no title was on the line. It was purely exhibition, and both these guys have straps. So, what else? Some guy named Hype the Crowd. I think he's some kind of mascot or something. Anyway, you guys ready to talk about the main news? Jump into the main event?
I suppose, I thought the crowd was dead for, 99% of Raw. Completely dead. They didn't give a fuck.
They really didn't give any kind of fucks for the Divas match, which was lame even by Divas standards. When Cena came out, it was meh. Sheamus and Miz, I gotta be honest, I wasn't feeling that match. I mean, it was kind of neat to see Sheamus really ramp up the edgy face beating on Miz. It was pretty cool. Although, you gotta be honest, when R-Truth turned to that kid and said, "Do you have anything to say?" and he says, "Happy New Year," I was like, oh, please say bitch. Please say motherfucker. Say something really awful. You're 8, own it. And he doesn't. Happy birthday, it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty weak.
Yeah. It was just one of those
things. I was really hoping the kid was going to be like,
you could be the new Miz
fuck
girl,
you! Buddy. Yeah. Or just had him go, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah,
just for fun.
That would have been great, yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Or he throws up the DDP sign.
Diamond upside down's pussy.
Yeah. It was just a crowd, except for, I gotta be honest, they were piping up pretty good for Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes, and Ziggler versus CM Punk. Those guys brought the house down. I mean, I just gotta give it to Bryan and Rhodes, though, for the quality of the match they brought in. And I'm really excited to see Ziggler versus Punk at Royal Rumble, because that, which is actually the only other booked match. Anyway, you guys want to talk about main news? All right, cool. Main news, the main event of the evening. First thing on the docket. Y2J, the Ayatollah of rock and roll, the lead singer of a band that we have all heard of but never listened to, Chris Jericho, has made his return to the WWE.
Hey, I own Happenstance, all right?
Congratulations. Did he give it to you personally at the gig? Did you have to buy it through Amazon?
No, I actually bought it through Amazon.
There we go. Used or new?
New. I actually gave my hard-earned money to Mr. Mongoose McQueen.
Oh, good for him. and good for you. So yeah, Jericho came back. He is the subject apparently of the 1-2-12 ads. I got to be honest. Look, I told Garvin earlier today, we were talking about it, that I felt the same way about this, the same way I did when I saw the Phantom Menace. Basically, the marketing, the hype going in didn't quite match what you got.
Yeah, I felt burned a little bit on that. I actually made the right move, and I went to bed before it happened. So it was cool. I came out and I'm like, all right, these videos have been awesome. Let's be honest. The video packages have been cool.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting build-up. And then he came out wearing the sparklies again, which he's done every time he's debuted in the WWE. But this time he lit up like a Christmas tree. Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that was the high point, unfortunately, and I hated that.
Didn't say
it was
anything.
really bad. There has to be an explanation, and I know everyone in the IWC is like, oh, we gotta, he either he fucked up, or, oh, there's so much more depth to it. There's probably a reason for it, but I don't care what the reason is. I think it was very bad. I don't care if they're gonna make it some, storyline that he's mocking people. I mean, he did the Christian salute, looking out into the distance thing at all the peeps. He did the Hogan back and forth thing. So maybe he's mocking icons from the past.
But the thing
I don't know.
But the thing is, it didn't fit with the tone at all of the video package.
Not at all.
That's the thing. It's like, and then you're like the video package kept calling basically this guy was going to be the second coming of death. It's death himself, and he was going to cull the wheat and get rid of everybody. And then Jericho comes out, and it's like, all right, well, maybe Jericho's got a new. Nope. It's exactly the same Jericho that left. That's interesting. I mean, a little bit pudgier and a little bit older, but still the same Jericho. It just didn't fit with the thing at all for me. All right, so we're gonna quick Facebook friend Cal Christie said the amazing thing about Jericho is that it really doesn't matter if the promo was planned or if Jericho choked. His fans will be certain it was genius commentary, and the average fan doesn't know any better. It's kind of cynical, to be honest with you.
Well, it's cynical, but I think it's kind of true. If you're a fan of Jericho, you're not really going to care if he botched it or not, and the average wrestling fan doesn't know a botch when they see it.
See, I love Jericho, but that was a horrible segment, and I can realize that and go, wow, somebody somewhere fucked up. Be it him, be it the writers, be it Vince going, hey, this would be really, really funny.
That is because you are a professional.
So let's take this disaster so far that we're having with Skype and open it up to our callers. Garvin, you want to bring on who you got here? Michael?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Mike! Hey, man, how's it going? Hey, this is my buddy Mike.
Oh, it's going great.
Hey, you gonna be free to do the show sometime this month?
Yeah. So let me know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll hit you up. Okay, anyway, what's up?
Oh, no, hold on. How about that Raw last night? How about that Chris Jericho? Boy, he really showed us, huh?
Hey, I'm back. Hey!
Oh, we didn't even get that. We didn't even get it on back.
No, what did we get? Did he even actually say anything? I think he just kept saying,
Yeah,
hey, all right.
No, he did. He did say stuff, but he said it to the crowd when he was running around the ring.
Yeah, it was like, hey, leave me, the over-pandering that he did to the audience. It was just so boring. I don't know what to make of it. I'm interested. I want to know what happens next week. But as for a first chapter, oh my God, I don't know what to make of that.
So you're interested not so much. It's got your interest, but you're like, okay, how are they going to salvage this?
It has my interest to going to tie this into these videos that we saw for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Exactly.
Or if they'll even them at all.
Exactly.
They have that track record where they build up this intrigue, and then they pretend like it never happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, they can't honestly with a star like Jericho. Do you really think that they would just drop it like that?
I mean, he's one of those guys that he's very hands-on, as we saw with his programs with Shawn Michaels. Both him and Shawn pretty much booked that themselves. I don't think Jericho would ignore that, but I don't know. WWE's track record the last 6 months, it's a different company than it was, 2-3 years ago when Jericho was, at the top of his game. Yeah, I mean, just in the last 6 months alone, I've lost track of how many have just dropped out of the blue. And especially from that video, to me, it had 3 big questions coming out of it. Who is he? What is he coming back to reclaim? and who is she? And the only question that got answered last night was that he is Chris Jericho.
This is a really good point about the she thing. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I forget what the quote was, but it was, she is responsible for his return, or, when she gives the word, who is she? And what was the word? Is it Stephanie McMahon?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Or will they just go with some cop-out like, it was his daughter saying that he needs to go back and reclaim the adulation from the fans that he used to get, or something ridiculous like that.
Mike, if you think it may be Stephanie McMahon, do you think she's going to forget the months upon months where he called her a trash bag whore?
Oh gosh, yeah, I think they would. They've done it before when Jericho and were a team at WrestleMania 18. They completely that. They just
all about that one.
They kind of went, well, we have to get Triple H. We'll put our differences aside to get him, and maybe they'll do the same thing with CM Punk. That seems the popular rumor and match that's being thrown out for Jericho is to have him face CM Punk at WrestleMania. Will she go back and say, all the stuff that CM Punk said about her back at SummerSlam around that time? But that's a long way to go back, and to bring in Jericho just for that, to me, that doesn't make too much sense.
Okay, cool, man. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling. We really appreciate it. Hey, you're still the SmackDown correspondent for the Torch, right?
Yeah, I do an alternate perspective on SmackDown. It's every weekend on pwtorch.com. Look for QPAC's review of SmackDown. Also, I'm on Twitter at MJQPAC. I do live tweeting during Raw and most pay-per-views.
And it's hilarious.
Pay-per-views, yeah. Actually, this month I will be in St. Louis for the Royal Rumble, so look for live tweets from the show.
Awesome, fantastic.
And if you want to put up a sign that says, at FTW Podcast, we'd appreciate it.
I don't think the cameras can shoot that high.
Aww.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate you calling in, buddy.
All right, guys. Good talking to you.
All right. Talk to you later, man. As always, you can call us in at 313-444-FTW4. That's 313-444-3894. Or you can add us directly on Skype. That's the FTW Podcast. All right. Next up, we got a call talking about Chris Jericho. This is Shane, right?
Yo.
What's up, buddy?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. What do you think about Jericho coming back?
I think he had the sexiest jacket I've ever seen in my life. Come on, it had a built-in Christmas tree in it. He stole a little bit of Bret Hart's jacket, a little bit of Scott Steiner's headdress, and then he put lights on it, and it was amazing.
So he turned into what's his name from Running Man?
Yes.
The opera guy, Electro, wasn't it? Something like that. The guy who looked like a human Christmas tree.
I'd still rock it.
Brodus Clay with lights. That's pretty much what he looked like.
Brodus Clay. I thought he got back in shape, it looks like. He looks older. His body overall, he didn't look, what's the word I'm looking for, doughy. He didn't look doughy like he did before he left.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that was a little unfair when I said he was kind of pudgy. No, he's looking okay. He's not looking cut or anything, but...
Yeah. He was never really cut.
He was definitely not Matt Hardy bad.
Yeah, leave double stuff out of this. We're not talking about him.
V-ton.
The twist of weight.
Oh, no.
I can't take credit for that one. There's a Twitter account called the Twist of Weight, and it's a fake Matt Hardy.
I wanted to, that is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, cool, man. All right, anything else you want to say about Jericho?
Jericho, when he came out and he did his little crucifixion pose with the little lights, is it me or did he look like the star on top of the Christmas tree?
Pretty much. I'd totally say that. That's a pretty accurate description there. Yeah. I was just bummed out because you could tell it was him doing the pose. I don't know. The reveal is the big thing, and like the last return they did, where he clotheslines the guy who was bringing out running the torch out, and you saw it was fucking Jericho because he's doing the fucking pose. You just didn't see his face until he actually came out on the stage. I'm like, that is poor. That is bad, and they did it again with those damn lights.
And those part of the lights on the jacket actually went out.
Yeah, batteries probably died or something.
But then they also cycled through.
Yeah, I mean, I would still rock it. I'm not joking. I would wear that. But I mean, also I had a bone to pick with his Tron. The graphic, like with the little coats thing, looked a hell of a lot more cool. Some generic silver graphic on his Tron.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it was
but they also didn't. They didn't do the main screen one. They didn't do the large screen one. They kept that one either black or live feed.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody's just slacking on getting a good video out or something.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, it looks like he was going to be a heel, but it's so obvious he's not going to end up being a heel overall, and that maybe he'll, I don't know, distract CM Punk at the Royal Rumble or something, or he'll do something with someone. I mean, the end of the world and shaking, I mean, the camera shaking to 20 bajillion times, and then it went to the crowd where she looked frightened out of her mind. Like there was a gang raping or something.
The fact that she looked horrified when they pan by, and then you see this big sign in green says Y2J, I'm like, oh. I don't know. It was cool to see her.
For chanting Y2J when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was just I would have, as soon as they started going Y2J, you just push him out there. Just get the fuck out there.
Yeah.
and he did troll us all. I mean, we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, the girl and all that. Watch it just turn out to be Jericho himself. He'll be like, I represent everything. I represent the swing in the promo, and
Are you saying, wait, are you saying Jericho's a swinger?
Maybe.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I love the guy to death. I mean, the guy's fucking amazing, but I mean, who can they honestly say is the girl? I mean, is Ralphus going to pop up in a miniskirt and, I mean, what can we honestly get for ourselves? I mean, it's not going to be his wife. I mean, all I can see is him just saying it. The woman represents something, it represents the or something he's leaving behind, or
maybe it represents his former co-intercontinental champion, China.
It actually represents his look from 10 years ago with the long hair.
Yes.
Yeah, it's possible that it's his ego, and that because CM Punk has been saying that he's the best in the world, and that was kind of Jericho's thing, and Jericho has been going on this whole everyone's copying off me type of thing. That it's possible that is what he's referring to.
As long as it doesn't turn out to be like Kane, where he becomes a super evil villain like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Kane has now become the super villain of a cheesy cartoon.
Didn't he just pretty much become the Undertaker of the Ministry of Darkness kind of thing?
Oh no, that was more frightening than this. I mean, he tried raping Zack Ryder.
Well, yeah, but he also, I mean, maybe he was bringing Zack Ryder to meet Katie Vick.
They were broskies.
I mean, Zack Ryder has expression at the end of that when him and Cena are in the corner, hugging. Zack Ryder looked like his life flashed for him. That look was classic. I want a screenshot of that. I mean, where can they go from this with them too? I mean, is Kane a heel or a face, and he's doing this hokey shit where he's like, "Embrace the hate, John. Embrace it."
I think Kane is trying too hard to be as much as I hate to bring Star Wars into this. I think Kane's trying to be Sith Lord too much. He reminds me of in the prequel trilogy, Palpatine trying to convince Anakin Skywalker.
So what are you going to hear? You're going to hear John Cena go, no.
We just might, sadly enough.
Cena, and I want to say to Shane, your imitation of Kane, though, just made it sound like a really bad gay porno.
That's what it sounds like, though. Come on, John. By the end of the night, John, you will see the true evil.
Bite down on it, baby.
And he's not really. That costume is probably. The first time I saw it, I laughed because he doesn't have a tank top on. He has like his sleeves off, but that little incision design makes it look like it's meant for a tank top. Like it creates a Y, and then he has this like dumb look in his eyes. Like they're trying to add makeup now to the eyes, but the first week he had it, there was like this clear spacing of the skin you could see, and then that goofy smile because he has no facial hair or anything. It just he really looks bogus. That outfit is bogus. That one little flame on the leg.
Did we lose him?
Oh, we may have. I don't know. Skype's a bitch.
Are you still there?
Nope. We're getting a connectivity issue here.
Oh, Shane, sorry, buddy. Looks like Skype got tired of you. All right, well, that's it for Jericho. Shane, Mike, thanks for calling in. Really appreciate it. Moving on. If you watched UFC 141, you would have witnessed Brock Lesnar's last fight in the UFC as he retired after getting his liver tenderized by Alistair Overeem. Once this happened, you could feel the air shudder with the force of 1,000 keyboard strokes, asking the question if he was coming back to the WWE. So why the hell not? Let's indulge this. Coming back?
No.
Thank you, Rob. Joe?
I mean, not as a wrestler. I mean, you were right on the mark. I mean, getting your liver... he got his liver and just about every internal organ of the abdominal region turned into jelly. I think it's going to be very hard for Brock Lesnar to return as an active wrestler. They might give him like a Legends contract, keep him around as a spokesperson, but I don't see in-ring action as a possibility.
All right, Joe, what do you think?
I don't think he's going to come back. I mean, he may come back for like an appearance or maybe do a match or two, but there's no way in hell he's going to become full-time.
No, you guys, okay, real quick, if you guys want to call and give your opinion, 313-444-FTW4, 313-444-3894, or the FTW podcast on Skype. Now, you two honestly don't see him coming back to wrestle in any capacity whatsoever.
No, I really don't. He's been too long gone from the WWE. I don't see where... When you look at somebody coming back, the first question you'd have to ask is, what would you do with him? So... if you see Brock Lesnar coming back, what do you do with it? I mean, do you put him up against John Cena?
I honestly think they could Goldberg him.
I should slap you just for mentioning that name.
Come on,
Wait.
buddy.
So you're going to put him on a full schedule where he's actually got to pick people up? Fuck that.
I got to be honest, though. I do want to say one thing. When Lesnar announced... if you looked carefully in the background on the floor of the Octagon, you could actually see the crater that used to be Dana White. I can't imagine, because that Dana White had such a hard guy. I mean, when they did Live on Fox, Lesnar was the only guy that was on there as like the, basically just hyping the Overeem fight. They didn't have Overeem on, they had Lesnar on, and all they did was just ram our throats, and now he's gone, and it's like, oh.
I agree. Dana White definitely put a lot of money into and behind Brock Lesnar. That's a big investment that White just lost.
Yeah, but I mean, if the guy's got to retire because, let's say, his injuries are too bad with that intestinal thing, it's tough.
Right.
You got to let him go, but I mean, damn, I think him losing the title the way he did, though, really sucked. That was so lackluster.
No, he was. I mean, I don't know. You expected him to do really well, and he did all right, but then he just really petered off at the end. All right, so once again, you guys want to call in 313-444-FTW4, 313-444-3894, boom boom, or friend us on Skype. That's the FTW podcast on Skype. Okay, so he's not coming back. I mean, okay, we're looking at it from ideal point of view. Do you see the WWE wanting him back?
Yes.
Yes.
You do.
Oh, guarantee it. WWE wants his ass back like nobody's business. Why? Because he's worth money. The fact, there are a whole other group of people who have seen Brock Lesnar and seen videos of Brock Lesnar beating the fuck out of, like, Frank Mir and other guys.
That's awesome.
And what? It's just, he's name recognition.
Yeah.
You're bringing something quote-unquote legitimate over to something that's seen as not legitimate and may give it some cred.
Yeah, but
don't time that they've already built up the feud with Undertaker.
Yeah.
This is true.
Did they really build up the feud? Because it seems like that was built up on the internet and nobody did anything to quash it.
Well,
You want to do it?
It started at a UFC show where, Lesnar, it was after one of his last wins.
Yeah, it was when he lost to...
Oh, did he lose?
Yeah, he lost. He lost that match. Yeah, he lost, and Taker was in the audience, and Taker he was giving an interview, and then Lesnar walked by, and Taker just said, "What do you say?" He said, "You want to go? You want to do this?" or something like that.
Or he says, "Do you want to do it?"
Yeah, and then Lesnar just kept walking. So, yeah, I mean, there is, but I mean, that wasn't WWE's doing, that wasn't UFC's doing, that was the two of them really not liking each other. So then, do you really want to put them in the ring together?
I think that was WWE's doing. Come on, I mean, you're not just going to put The Undertaker there.
And wait a minute, and then time Lesnar leaving the octagon just at the right moment.
You put Undertaker on the aisle, and if Lesnar passes, then he passes, and they have this opportunity.
Yeah, the fact they gave Taker the interview, it's a fix.
Yeah. So, and if you look at the overall picture, our choices here are Triple H again versus The Undertaker, or a guy like Brock Lesnar, and I think people would rather see Brock Lesnar in that match.
Well, I think we're going to see Triple H.
Yeah, we're going to see Triple H for, the third time? God, that match is going to suck.
Something like that, yeah.
So,
Well, the first one was the best.
Here's the thing, though. Dude, look, Taker's old, all right? I love Taker so much, but he is just not... He can't do an entire match anymore. So he needs someone to carry him, and we saw what happens when Triple H does that. Do you really think Brock Lesnar could be the guy to carry Taker through a WrestleMania match?
No, I mean the only thing that will happen if Lesnar's going to be Taker's last match, Taker's not coming back this year. Taker will not have a match at WrestleMania this year because Taker will need more time to rest and more time to prepare to carry somebody like Brock Lesnar through the match, and Brock will need time to get back into WWE shape. He spent so much time actually beating on dudes that he's got to. All right, I'm going to break that wall. Wrestling is fake.
It's not fake. It's storyline. There's a complete difference.
Yeah, well, still. But fuck. I think that it's going to end up his last match. He's going to retire after 20-0. He's gonna. It's inevitable. At this point in his career, they're going to give him one more. Who it's going to be against, I have no idea. If it's somebody like Lesnar, cool. If it's somebody, if for some reason they brought Hogan back for it, God forbid they did, but
they can't bring
that'd be kind of
Hogan. Hogan's still tied up with TNA.
Yeah, they're not going to bring back Hogan.
But if they don't do it this year, if his contract runs out, he could probably come back. It should be Zach Gowen. Fuck it. So Zach Gowen versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Okay, so you guys want to do some predictions here real quick? Who Taker versus who at WrestleMania? Because I got your legitimate prediction and then your dream.
Hey, hold on here. So we're going to take a call from Jason Massey. Jason, you on?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Hey, Jason.
I don't know how long Skype's going to let me talk, but we'll see. Just my opinion, but I don't see what the big deal is about Lesnar. Like, why would anybody would want him?
I want to see him do the shooting star face plant again.
I think what the big draw with him is it's the same thing that WWE tried to get out of Ken Shamrock with the UFC. You're taking somebody from a legitimate fighting nation and you're bringing them into a fighting organization that is perceived to be fake or storylined or whatnot. And for WNs, they get the added bonus of Brock Lesnar's finally coming back. So they can have all of these dream matches, Lesnar versus Undertaker or something like that. As for you, I'm right there with you. I don't personally see what the big deal is about Lesnar. I don't know why Dana White put so much money behind him. I think that's where you're coming from with that.
Well, I think UFC put a lot of money behind him because, one, he was a D1 wrestling champion in college. So, I mean, there's some legitimacy there because it's like homebrew. He wasn't some guy who went off to Korea and became a black belt in Taekwondo or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something exotic like that. I mean, he was a college champ. The other thing is he's got a great look. I mean, the guy is built like a goddamn tank. I mean, it was the same thing with Kimbo Slice. He's just like this mean-looking dude. Like Kimbo, he kind of fizzled.
Kimbo Slice.
Well, I'm
Kimbo
just saying.
Slice had less than no training.
That's what I'm saying. He had a great look, but yeah, like, he just kind of fizzled out a little bit. I mean, that's the other thing. Well, Jason, what, you don't agree with that? You don't think you don't see the draw, or you see what he's being marketed as, and you don't think it's good?
Okay, it's not like he went away and became successful. I mean, like, he was for a short time in UFC, and then, like, he had all those intestinal problems or whatever, and then he came back after a long absence, got his ass beat, and retired. He did make out in the NFL. Does anyone remember his last match in the WWE? Was that not the most disgraceful thing you've ever seen?
Well, that's what happens when Goldberg and Brock Lesnar are both leaving after that match. They didn't give a fuck.
I know, but I mean, I know wrestling fans have a short-term memory when it comes, and that was years and years ago, I know, but I just, he thought he could better deal the WWE, and he didn't, he didn't for very long. So, I don't know. I'll twist in the wind. That's just me.
I don't know.
He could wrestle.
I'll say he did better deal the WWE because, as mentioned, Dana White put so much money into that asshole, even when he wasn't fighting.
True.
White put so much money. I think he did better deal the WWE. It's just that in the end, he didn't deliver what Dana White and the UFC were hoping.
Yeah, he was pretty sick years and everything. It just, he couldn't wrestle. He's worse than Batista, if that says anything. At least Batista as a heel,
Thank you. Finally, somebody agrees with me that Batista, after all, I get so much shit for people. Man, Rob, you were really harsh on Batista. Thank you, Jason, for agreeing with me.
I never said you were harsh on Batista. I think you were a little light on Batista.
I'm not referring to you, Joe. I'm talking outside the show.
No one wears a tight T-jacket like Batista.
Nobody can fall out of a wheelchair like Batista.
Just one thing for you guys to consider. The other connection that Brock Lesnar has, though, is with his former manager, Paul Heyman. And Heyman has been basically promoting Lesnar since he left the WWE. So, like, all the interviews that he did with UFC, it was all produced by Paul Heyman. Heyman writes about him in his blog pretty much every other week or something like that. So I think that a partnership with Brock Lesnar is more attractive because it could bring back a guy who, overall the IWC guys like us are thirsty for, is to see Paul Heyman return. So that's the only argument I could see against that, though.
But the WWE has less than no interest in Heyman.
Yeah, they already had experience with him, but this is a different company than it was 2 or 3 years ago when they bought ECW, and Paul Heyman could be a different guy. So it happened when that happened. Water under the bridge. I mean, Jason's got a good point. I mean, if we have short memory, the WWE has even shorter ones. So,
that's pretty much the only way I'd be interested in Brock is if Heyman came with him, because that's how they got it. Because he can't talk, but Heyman's great at it. So
yeah,
have Heath and Brock can be the tank. I don't care. Let him wreck Zack Ryder and plow through the mid card for a little bit.
Boo boo boo. No? Okay.
All right, Jason, thanks very much for calling in, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, man, we'll talk to you. Oh, thank you. All right, cool. All right. Anything else we want to talk about regarding Brock Lesnar to UFC and before we move on to quick hits?
I'm taking quick hits.
Quick hits! All right. Item number 1. John Laurinaitis announced on Raw that Ziggler vs. Punk for the WWE title will take place at the Rumble. He also announced that he'll be the special guest referee for the match. The 30-man Royal Rumble the 30-man Royal Rumble main event is the only other match confirmed so far. Question number 1. Do you think Ziggler or Punk will be in the Rumble as well? And 2. How about Ziggler possibly walking out with the strap? Go, Joe.
Ziggler's not going to walk out with the strap. Jericho's going to get himself involved and cause a DQ or a count-out or something like that. I think that Ziggles will be in the Rumble, though.
I think Ziggler will be in the Rumble. I'm not sure Punk will, and like Joe, I don't see Ziggler walking out with the strap. Strap, I think they're going to have get involved or, something happen.
All right. Cool. Garv, what do you think?
Yeah, I think for sure we'll see Dolph Ziggler in the Rumble as well. Just because going by history, he's been double booked in every pay-per-view in the last 4 or 5 months. So I think that's definitely a go. As far as who will walk out with the title, I'm still torn. I don't know. There's been these discussions that they might take the title off of Punk because of how bad the ratings have been. Maybe Dolph's that spark. I don't know. I do have a hard time believing that they'll give the title to Ziggler right away. It just seems too quick.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I want to see both of them in the Rumble. Honestly, I would rather Ziggler not win the strap, but win the Rumble. That would be me. That would be the ultimate thing for me. The only thing, though, is that I really don't see him... I don't see that happening, but I'd love for it to happen. I guess is my point. But, Garvin's got a great point. Is Punk, taking the title off Punk, the way you want to go as far as boosting ratings? I don't know. I can't be honest. I can't honestly say that because I tune in for Punk. And as far as I'm aware, everybody else here does too.
I've got an idea. What about Ziggler winning the Rumble and then challenging Taker because he's a show-off?
Really?
I mean, it's a harebrained scheme, but if you wanted to find a reason to quickly throw Taker into shit, have him come back and have him cash it in on him as opposed to an actual title.
Okay, so you would have the Undertaker's last match be against Dolph Ziggler.
I think you could get a good match delivered out of that. I mean, it'd suck for build-up, and it would suck in that aspect, but I think you're going to still get a good match out of it.
That's the thing, though, is these Taker WrestleMania matches are all about the build-up. I mean, that was all the Triple H Taker thing was last year. It was just video vignettes and the two of them building up the match. It didn't matter that the match really didn't deliver because the build-up was there, and it was us watching going, oh my God, he's going to go 19-0. So...
But they didn't start the build-up until after Taker returned, which was at the end of January. So it's not that different amount as far as time frame. There's still the same amount of time.
But it's easier
it's
to
a
build
history
up
thing.
Somebody like Triple H
exactly.
than it is Ziggler, who has no history at all with The Undertaker.
Yeah, I mean Ziggler's a solid worker, and I would pick him to go up against The Undertaker, if possible, 2 or 3 years from now, when Ziggler's really had a chance to really develop as a character, and the fans truly do hate him to the level that they would hate someone like a Triple H or a CM Punk, where they have that kind of legacy to go up against Taker. And I gotta be honest, I think having a match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania is far more important to fans like us than a title match.
Oh, I agree.
Anybody disagree with that? It's rumored that RVD wants to come back to the WWE and that the feeling is mutual. During his hiatus from full-time... wrestling, Van Dam said he would consider returning to WWE if and when he felt ready. One thing's for sure, WWE do have good faith understanding, blah, 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 blah. I look forward to doing business again. Do you think RVD would be a good fit in today's WWE, or does he have TNA? Joe, go.
Do I think it's going to be a good fit in today's WWE? I'm not thinking so. But experience-wise, he's got a lot to offer to TNA, but I don't think they're going to utilize him right. I don't know how to utilize him right for them, but I don't think that's...
Okay, fair enough. Rob?
Yeah, I think he could fit in today's WWE. He'd have to cut a few things out, but I'm tempted to say that more to offer TNA if he wasn't just completely gassed in his matches. He's just had a string of really horrible matches. He needs to take some time off, get into shape, find his love of the business again, and then I think he could have more to offer TNA. Okay.
I gotta be honest, I gotta second exactly what Ralph said in the chat room just now. RVD is a shell of his former self. That is absolutely true. He is just not who he was. I mean, the guy is putting in, like you said, Rob, just mediocre after mediocre, bordering on crap. He's just not it anymore. It's sad. It's sad, really, to see someone not so much leave at the high point, but just slowly run out of gas and drift to a stop. All right. Actor Dennis Haysbert. Haskins. You may know him as Mark Slativer from Men of a Certain Age, maybe Captain Dale Landry from the TV movie Redwater, or Chris Murray from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Anyway, Mr. Belding recently spoke at MemphiSport.com about his quest to become WWE's Raw general manager. That storyline, apparently it's still going on. Basically, he's a huge wrestling fan. He started a petition. It's got less than, according to Wrestling.com, quote, Haskins is basically asking fans to bring up Belding for GM signs at Monday's Raw Super Show in Memphis. I don't remember seeing any of those. He has received support from guys like Ryder, The Miz, CM Punk, DDP, and others, and I'm kind of glad in that. No word yet if any of this will interfere with any of his other projects. Waka, waka, waka. 2 questions. Did anybody see any of these signs, and do you think Belding would make for a good Raw GM? Joe?
Didn't see it. Don't know.
Okay. Rob, go.
First off, Diamond Dallas Page is still alive. Holy crap.
And apparently has an opinion on Belding going for the GM spot.
Exactly, yeah. I have not seen any of these signs, and I'm not sure he'd make for a good Raw GM, which is probably why you haven't seen any of those signs yet. I think a lot more people agree with that.
I really, God, no. Just no. I mean, no. No, it's got to be Triple H because I got to win that bet against Joe. And I'm going to. Chat wants Mr. Belding. In fact, they're actually starting a chant. We want Belding. Clap, clap, clap. We want Belding. They are 100% unanimous that they want Belding to be the Raw GM. No. No, guys. No. Just stop it. No chance. I don't care. I'm pulling an executive order. No. We got predictions for this week's TNA pay-per-view. First thing on the docket is Austin Aries versus Kid Cash versus Jesse Sorensen versus Zema Ion. 4 corners match for the TNA X Division Championship. Look for a spot fest and bring your popcorn because this sucker's going to light up. Who's taking who?
I think Austin Aries is going to retain. I don't think TNA is going to take the title off him yet.
I think Rob's correct. Aries isn't going to lose it. None of the other guys have the cred, have the watchability.
Cool. Garv, what do you think?
They've really poorly built this up. The only guys that seemed interesting because of how they've done the matches is Zema Ion. But otherwise, I don't see him being a champion. They've basically ignored Jesse Sorensen and Kid Cash. So yeah, Austin Aries retains. You might see some good signs from Zema Ion, but I don't see anyone having that readiness. It's not happening. Austin Aries.
Okay, I was wondering when you get around to that. Okay, cool. Kurt Angle versus James Storm. In the match of, hey, remember me? All right, Angle versus Storm. Who's taking who? Rob?
Storm.
Joe?
Yeah, I think Storm. James Storm is going to win.
I'm going to take Storm too because Kurt Angle can't buy a push. Garvin?
You know, I'm gonna play smart here, and I'm gonna take James Storm just because of the sheer fact that you guys are choosing James Storm. And I don't want to completely lose this pay-per-view prediction.
You're going to completely lose this pay-per-view prediction. You're going to be stuck in last place, buddy. Sorry. You're stuck in last place tied with a part-timer.
It's a new year, buddy. It's a new year.
These don't reset until WrestleMania. That's the finish line. Think you can pull it off? I don't think so. D'Angelo De Niro versus Devon. Who's taking who?
I'm taking Devon. Why? Because he has kids. Well, and they're teamed up with the Pope, and then they're going to turn on Pope. And because these kids can't make up their mind which guy is their daddy, I guess. I don't know. These kids keep bouncing between De Niro and Devon, and it's so worthless. It's so fucking worthless.
Well, they have pushed the kids already on the Pope side. I think it was 2 weeks ago they hit Devon with a chair.
Yeah.
I don't think anything happened this week that I can remember. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Joe. I'm going to say Devon as well.
All right, Rob?
I also believe Devon will win, but I also believe that this is going to be the match where you run to the bathroom and or get more drinks and food.
No, that's the next match.
Well, that match too, yeah.
I'm going to take my old standby Pope. I don't know why, but I got hope in Pope is what I got. Gail Kim versus Mickie James for the TNA Women's Knockout Championship. To be completely honest, these are two people who should not be in this match. Taking who?
Gail Kim is going to win this.
You don't think Mickie walks out with the title? Kevin is going to be so mad at you, Joe?
No, I don't think he will.
Well, this is the 3rd time that these two are fighting for the exact same title. I think they're finally going to give it to Mickie James, and I hope they do, because that way maybe some of the other women like Velvet Sky and Winter and even Angelina Love, women who deserve shots at the Knockouts Championship, could potentially get it.
Okay, cool. Garf?
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree that I like this feud. I like the match that they had on Impact. So I think that this will actually be a quality match. You might want to actually watch this one.
They don't have a feud, Garvin. They've had a series of matches.
Well, but that's TNA's booking. We can't fault them per se on what TNA can't accomplish. Their match on Impact was pretty decent.
I agree. Both of them, the last two matches have been really good, solid matches, right up until the point that they have Madison Rayne interfere or whatnot.
Yeah.
But my point is, they've got a potential for a good feud here. They started to push for a really good feud, but then they dropped it. You don't see segments from them a lot anymore. Mm-hmm. They've just decided, well, we're gonna give them a series of matches until we decide to do something.
But they still got the spotlight because they did have the main event. So, but I'm gonna go with Mickie James as well.
So the cheese stands alone, Joe, in thinking that Gail Kim is going to retain, because I'm taking Mickie James for basically the same reason that Rob brought up. Abyss versus Bully Ray, Monsters Ball match. If Abyss loses, he will join Immortal. Bully Ray's going to win this. I mean, we're all in agreement.
No, Abyss wins.
I think Abyss wins.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember Abyss ever losing a Monsters Ball match. It's his.
That's right. Yeah, good point. All right, I'll take Abyss.
Ah. Damn it, Rob. Or damn it, Rob.
I wasn't thinking the Monsters Ball thing. I was thinking the Immortal thing. I thought it'd be cool.
Yeah,
if Abyss joined
Immortal's dead. Immortal's fucking dead.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Abyss could bring it back from the Abyss. Fair enough. Garth, we taking? I just put you down Abyss. I'm sorry about that.
I will go with Abyss for the same reasons, but man, I really wish they would push Bully Ray and allow him to have like a solid run as a singles competitor, and thus far they really haven't, and it's disappointing.
Okay. He's gotten a few championship opportunities, but I agree. Out of Team 3D, Bully Ray has definitely been doing better with his singles run than Devon has.
Fair enough. Bobby Roode versus Jeff Hardy for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. You think Jeff Hardy wins ugly ass thing out from behind the janitor's closet?
I'd like to say he's going to retain here. Actually, I think Bobby Roode will retain here.
With you, Rob.
Because I'm hoping that with Storm winning, they're going to reignite the Storm versus Roode feud.
Yeah, I think Bobby Roode will win
with the title.
Joe?
Bobby Roode takes it.
Cool. What about you, Garth?
Well, I just need to make a remark. We apologize to the chat, who apparently hate TNA. We have to cover TNA, and I know you guys would rather us not, but sorry.
No.
Bear with us. One match left. Just bear with us.
Y2JTM said that Rude, they'd be stupid to put the belt on Hardy. That's an excellent point.
I agree with that.
Yeah, see? Bobby Roode got shafted big time. See? They're building up the Rude versus Storm. See, we're getting legitimate.
Which is basically what I just said. Thank you for agreeing.
There is a delay, Rob, okay? So come on, give him or her credit. All right?
Well, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry that we're torturing you with TNA talk. But
you could have said
if no other show's going to cover it, we might as well.
All right, Garth, who are you taking? Bobby Roode, the way forward, or Jeff Hardy, the way back?
I'm going to contradict myself here, and I'm going to say if Bobby Roode loses the title, I will not watch Impact anymore. I'm done with it.
What?
I don't care how quality they have been.
I misheard you, yeah.
I will stop watching if Bobby Roode does not win. Jeff Hardy walks out of the title, done.
Okay.
I might be with you on that. Well, wait, I can't be on it because I got to cover Impact. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're stuck, son.
I'll cover it if you want to. No, I'm not going to do that. Fuck that.
Smart move, Joe. All right, we're going to jump into win fail, but before we do that, I'm going to turn the week out to the audience that's going live. What do you guys want our question of the week to be? So definitely hit it up in the chat, whichever one has the best one. Please keep the racism, sexism, and scatological humor to the side. This is going to be going on Facebook and possibly Twitter. All right, win fails of the week. Win of the week, go Joe.
My win of the week is the big fireball that erupted after Cena pulled Ryder out of the hole that Kane had made. I like fire.
Some more of it, bonus. Awesome.
Maybe Vader can come out of it and do something. I don't know.
It's time.
It's time.
Rob, your win of the week. Go, Rob. Go, buddy.
My win of the week, TNA actually made their knockouts match the main event of the entire. I can't remember the last time a major wrestling company has actually done that. I thought it was awesome.
I gotta find a new win. All right, my win of the week: Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes. Sitting there watching this match, my wife was sitting there next to me, and she even commented that these two did great. And she don't even watch wrestling. So yeah, I gotta be honest. Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes. I'm predicting it. WrestleMania in 3 years. There's your main event. Good on him. Fails of the week. Your failed. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Garf. I thought you were okay. Your win of the week, Garf. Go, buddy.
A win of the week is to Double A and The Rant for giving us this prime real estate here on TWRnetwork.com. Thanks, guys.
Make sure, Garvin, when you do that, you got to make sure you cup the balls. It's cold outside. All right, fails of the week. Your fail of the week. Go, Joe.
Skype.
Thank you.
Skype, you are a dirty, dirty asshole this week. And I understand your little growing pains last week, but this week it made this show hard to listen to from my end, and I dread editing.
Rob, your fail of the week. Go.
I'm with Joe. Fucking Skype.
All right, Garvin, you got a fail of the week?
Actually, I don't. Both
Join
WWE
us.
and TNA were pretty decent. There was nothing that really jumped out at me as far as, horrible.
Not going to say Jeff Hardy getting a title shot?
Well, we've said that before. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse or nothing, but
Well, TNA apparently does.
Yeah. And hey, if you say it from a hot tub, you could pretty much be.
I do that slow licking your lips thing. That's just so wrong.
Like Cher does, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. My fail is the chat room. Who's deader than Canyon? Really? Come on, Jason. What the hell? I'm not putting that on Facebook. I feel dirty saying that.
That was the suggestion from Jason as our Facebook question of the week.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
With that comment, man, the questions they're dropping. The questions are dropping so fast. They're dropping like Owen Hart, 9.8 meters per
Oh,
Man.
second. Long way, had to do it. Who's deader than Canyon? I'd say Owen Hart.
Dude.
there you go, guys. The gauntlet has been thrown. You want to play this game? This is why I didn't want to play this game. It wasn't because Facebook is filled with kids or anything. It's because we got Joe. All right? Dude, we got the 1,000-yard rusher in our backfield. You're not going to beat us. Sorry. Deal with it. Jason, you just got showed. All right, question of the week. I know, I'll figure something out. Look for it on Facebook. Should be interesting. As always, you can find this episode as well as our entire archive at ftwpodcast.com. And just in case you want to share the experience with others, join us every Wednesday Eastern Standard Time on TWRnetwork.com. Chat with us and the rest of the listeners of TWR as we listen to our show. It'll be interesting because this one's going to be... Is this one going to be also on Wednesday? Because that's going to be so freaking trippy.
Yes, we will be replaying tonight's episode tomorrow night at our time slot.
So when we're referencing the chat room, there'll also be a chat room going on the same website that we're referencing only a day later.
We're going to blow their minds.
It's going to be awesome. Show up stoned, man, and have a great night. Facebook.com/FTW Podcast, Twitter.com/FTW Podcast, YouTube.com/The FTW Podcast. Call us anytime, 313-444-FTW4. That's 313-444-3894. And leave a voice message. We'll play it on the air, or you can call us when we're live, like now. Download our iOS and Android apps, and please, 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 please rate us on iTunes, because all the other wrestling podcasts, aside from the ones that are on this network as well, suck. So we want to make sure that everybody else knows that. Anything else you guys want to talk about here?
No, I'm good.
No, let's get out of here.
Oh, there's something I wanted to say now that we're live, and I can't remember what it was. And it was something that I could say that Joe could stop. I don't know what it is. Or Joe.
See you next Tuesday? Too bad.
Damn it, Joe. Damn it, that was mine. I was warning you, asshole.